Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Learn, Grow and Thrive. Have you ever wondered how your ego might be holding you back from true happiness? We all have an ego. It's that inner voice, constantly chattering, judging and comparing. It craves recognition, validation and a sense of being better than. In moderation, the ego can be a source of motivation, driving us to achieve and grow. However, when our ego becomes inflated, it transforms into a formidable barrier to happiness. It distorts our perceptions, leading us to believe we are always right, always deserving, and always the center of attention. This inflated ego can be incredibly destructive. It prevents us from forming genuine connections, learning from our mistakes, and experiencing true joy and contentment. Life becomes a constant battle for validation, leaving us feeling empty, frustrated, and deeply unhappy. An overinflated ego sets us up for a difficult journey. It blinds us to the world around us, making us believe that our path is the only one that matters. We become so consumed with our own importance that we fail to see the beauty and opportunities that lie in the paths of others. We become so focused on ourselves, our needs and our desires that we lose sight of the bigger picture. Relationships become battlegrounds where we fight to assert our dominance and prove our worth. The joy of companionship is replaced by the stress of constant competition. Instead of empathy and understanding, we encounter conflict and resentment. Our interactions become strained, and the warmth of human connection fades away. We push people away with our need to be right, to be superior. We struggle to truly listen, connect, and build meaningful bonds because our ego demands to be heard and validated above all else. Conversations turn into monologues, and we miss the chance to understand and be understood. This insatiable need for validation leads to a constant fear of failure and rejection. We become anxious, always on edge, worrying about how others perceive us. The fear of not measuring up haunts us, making us doubt our every move. We become terrified of making mistakes, appearing vulnerable, or admitting our shortcomings. This fear stifles our growth and keeps us from learning and evolving. We put up walls to protect our fragile egos, but in doing so, we isolate ourselves. This fear paralyzes us, preventing us from taking risks, pursuing our passions, and living life to the fullest. We stand still while the world moves on, missing out on the adventures and experiences that make life rich and fulfilling. We become prisoners of our own ego, trapped in a cycle of self-sabotage and unhappiness. The walls we build to protect ourselves become our own cages, and the path to true happiness remains out of reach. Consider Sarah, a talented artist terrified of showcasing her work. Her ego whispers doubts, convincing her that any criticism will shatter her fragile sense of self-worth. Or imagine Mark, a successful businessman, unable to celebrate his team's accomplishments. His ego demands all the credit, leaving his colleagues feeling undervalued and resentful. These are just glimpses into the havoc an unchecked ego can wreak. From broken friendships to missed opportunities, the ego's influence can be subtle yet pervasive, casting a long shadow over our lives. The first step to managing our ego is cultivating mindfulness. This means paying attention to our thoughts, feelings, and sensations without judgment. When we become more aware of our ego's voice, we can start to detach from its grip. We can observe its pronouncements without immediately believing or acting upon them. Mindfulness helps us create a space between our thoughts and our reactions, allowing us to choose a more skillful response. Instead of reacting defensively to criticism, we can pause, breathe, and consider the feedback with an open mind. Cultivating humility is a powerful antidote to an overinflated ego. It's not about thinking less of ourselves, but rather thinking of ourselves less. Humility allows us to approach the world with a sense of curiosity and openness, recognizing that we don't have all the answers. It enables us to learn from others, appreciate different perspectives, and embrace the beauty of not knowing. When we cultivate humility, we release the need to be right, to be the center of attention, or to constantly prove ourselves. This frees us to connect with others on a deeper level, build more authentic relationships, and experience greater joy in our lives. Section 6. Embracing Imperfection, a journey of self-acceptance. Our ego thrives on perfectionism. It tells us that we need to be flawless to be worthy of love and acceptance. This relentless pursuit of perfection is a recipe for suffering. It sets us up for disappointment, self-criticism, and a constant feeling of not being good enough. To overcome our ego, we must embrace our imperfections. We must learn to accept ourselves, flaws and all, with kindness and compassion. This doesn't mean we shouldn't strive to grow and improve. It simply means letting go of the need to be perfect and embracing the messy, imperfect beauty of being human. Section 7. The power of perspective. Shifting our view. Our ego has a knack for magnifying our problems and minimizing our joys. It keeps us fixated on what's wrong, what's missing, and what we don't have. Shifting our perspective is crucial to breaking free from this negative spiral. We can start by practicing gratitude, focusing on the good in our lives, no matter how small. We can also challenge our ego's negative thoughts by asking ourselves, is this thought really true? Is there another way to look at this situation? By consciously choosing to focus on the positive and challenge our negative thoughts, we can gradually weaken our ego's hold on our minds. Section 8. Finding freedom, letting go of the ego's grip. Letting go of our ego's grip is not a one-time event, but an ongoing practice. It is a journey that requires continuous effort and dedication. Each day presents new opportunities to observe our thoughts and behaviors, and to choose a path that aligns with our true self, rather than our ego-driven desires. It requires patience, self-compassion, and a willingness to be vulnerable. We must learn to embrace our imperfections and understand that growth comes from acknowledging our flaws and working through them. Vulnerability is not a sign of weakness, but a testament to our strength and courage. There will be times when our ego roars back to life, whispering doubts and fears in our ears. These moments can be challenging, but they are also opportunities for growth. By recognizing these ego-driven thoughts, we can choose to respond with kindness and understanding, rather than reacting out of fear or insecurity. The key is to notice these thoughts without judgment and gently redirect our attention back to the present moment. Mindfulness practices such as meditation, deep breathing, and mindful movement can help us stay grounded and centered. These practices allow us to observe our thoughts without getting entangled in them. Remember, you are not your ego. Your true essence is far more expansive and profound than the limited identity your ego creates. By connecting with your inner self, you can transcend the ego's limitations and experience a deeper sense of peace and fulfillment. You are so much more than the thoughts and stories your ego creates. Your worth is not determined by external achievements or validations, but by your inherent value as a human being. Embrace your true self and let go of the need for approval and recognition. By cultivating mindfulness, humility, and self-acceptance, you can free yourself from the ego's trap and experience the joy, peace, and fulfillment that come from living a more authentic and meaningful life. This journey is not always easy, but it is undoubtedly worth it. Embrace the process and trust that each step brings you closer to your true self. Section 9. The promise of a lighter life, happiness found in letting go. Imagine a life where you are free from the constant need for validation, where your worth is not determined by the opinions of others, but by your own sense of self. Picture a world where you are no longer weighed down by the expectations and judgments that society places upon you. In this life, you embrace challenges with courage and grace, seeing them not as obstacles, but as opportunities for growth and self-discovery. You climb mountains, both literal and metaphorical, with a sense of purpose and determination. Your relationships are built on a foundation of love, empathy, and understanding. You connect with others on a deeper level, sharing moments of joy and laughter, and offering support and compassion in times of need. This is the promise of a life lived with a quieter ego. It is a life where inner peace and contentment are not fleeting moments, but a constant state of being. Through practices like meditation and mindfulness, you cultivate a sense of calm and clarity. It is a life filled with joy, peace, and a deep sense of connection to ourselves, to others, and to the natural world around us. You find happiness in the simple pleasures of life, like a beautiful sunset or a walk in the park, and to something larger than ourselves. you feel a sense of belonging to the universe, a connection to the greater whole. This perspective brings a profound sense of purpose and meaning to your life. Letting go of our ego is not about becoming passive or losing our ambition. It is about redirecting our energy towards what truly matters. It is about focusing on the present moment and being fully engaged in whatever we are doing. It is about channeling our energy into something more meaningful and fulfilling. Whether it's volunteering in a community garden, planting a tree, or simply lending a helping hand, these actions bring a sense of fulfillment and joy. It is about living a life driven by purpose, compassion, and a genuine desire to make a positive difference in the world. You find that by helping others, you also help yourself, and your life becomes richer and more meaningful, and a genuine desire to make a positive difference in the world. Participating in activities like charity runs or beach cleanups not only benefits the community, but also brings a sense of accomplishment and joy to your own life. This is the path to true happiness, a happiness that is not dependent on external circumstances, but comes from within. It is a state of being that is resilient and enduring, a happiness that comes from within and cannot be shaken by external circumstances. It is a deep, abiding joy that remains with you, no matter what life throws your way. This is the promise of a lighter life, a life of true happiness found in letting go. Thank you for watching. Comment below if you have something to share about managing ego or dealing with people who are self-centered. Like and subscribe for more videos like this. Let's learn, grow, and thrive together.